Hi, John. Can you tell me your full name and what you do at SAS?
I am John Bastone, and I'm Global Product Marketing Manager for our Customer Intelligence Solutions. And I'm here at SAS Global Forum to present and talk to customers about our social media analytics solution that we launched today.
Great. Now, is that a new product available for users to actually license and start using, or is it still being developed now?
It is GA. It's ready to go, and it's an on-demand offering hosted in our data center in Cary, North Carolina. And it is a packaging of existing SAS technologies that are all in production.
I see. So it's not something that a user would install on their existing 9.2 foundation installation of SAS and run it. It's
Correct.
More of a... Is it all web-based then?
You need a browser.
Okay.
And that's it. And there's essentially two interfaces. There's one that's a media information portal. It allows end users to navigate information via charts and graphs and dashboards. And then there's another module also served up through the website called the Media Workbench. And this is for analysts that want a deeper understanding of exactly if negative sentiment is applied to a specific element of a brand, to understand the underlying blog posts that are shaping that negative sentiment, the different words that are causing the trigger for that negative sentiment to be applied, really allowing analysts to touch the data and understand exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Not being a black box, but being very transparent is one of the things that our customers have asked us to address in this solution.
You mentioned that it's a bundling of existing SAS products. For those SAS users that are familiar with some of those, how would you describe some of the tools and maybe some of the existing SAS products that are used for mining text or the information needed for social media? What are some of those SAS products?
Foundation would be data integration. SAS is very strong in that area, and just the ability to capture and integrate blog posts, review sites, traditional media in terms of newspaper and magazines and the associated comments, microblogs like Twitter. All of these present different challenges in and of themselves, and so first and foremost, our ability to work through existing APIs and integrate that into a standard text-based warehouse is the foundation. Then on top of that, you have text mining, data mining, sentiment analysis, a number of different modules that start to parse and make sense of that data. But ultimately what the end user sees is the reporting layer on top of that, which is the charts, the graphs, the measures, the influence scores that the companies we're selling to ultimately care about and want to understand. Who are the top influencers in Twitter? What are they saying about my brand? In very specific, meaningful ways that action can be taken against.
Do you see the customers being a specific industry, or it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in?
It's unlike many of our solutions. This is truly cross industry. I'm having a hard time seeing an industry where this doesn't have relevance. I mean, if you can find me an industry where customer conversations are irrelevant, then that would be an industry that we should go after. But I don't know any industries like that yet.
Now, in the context of the things that you analyze, is it purely text and English, or does it expand maybe to other languages or other types of information?
I think at the moment, and I apologize for not having this stat, but I think we're in the neighborhood of about 14 different languages that the sentiment analysis component of the solution can understand and effectively categorize and apply positive, negative, or neutral sentiment against. So it is multilingual, which is another key differentiator for us, because I believe there's a stat that I saw in the last month that indicated that less than 50% of the conversations on Twitter are in English.
Yeah.
So if you don't report on Spanish and French and German and Chinese and Japanese, then you're not even hearing half the conversation.
You mentioned about the different reports. Do you have an example, one or two, a report that the tool displays or generates that will make sense out of this?
I can show you. This is just one of the static dashboards that I'm showing. This is an example of, in the influence and topics area, the ability to show different slices of sentiment. So as an example, you have a media source, in this case Business Insider, which is a relevant media source for a banking example. And in the last 90 days, negative sentiment is about 43%, neutral sentiment is about 40%, positive sentiment is about 16%. That in and of itself is interesting. The ability to, and I apologize, this is a static screen, but the ability to toggle across different sources to compare how different sources rate in sentiment is a key differentiator. The ability to go back to a year or 2 years to see, am I growing, am I shrinking in terms of positive and negative sentiment is a key factor. On the right-hand side, understanding by business unit, by channel, positive and negative sentiment is another interesting element of this. In this case, the business unit is account services. Other business units might be checking account, savings account. In this case, it's a bank that wants to understand how different elements of their business are perceived in the marketplace. It's not enough to just say, how's my brand being perceived? You want to understand at a much lower level, how is customer service? How are different elements of my business being perceived? Because at that level, you can start to take action if you have an issue in a specific area.
I'm curious, in the metrics that you were using, I noticed a lot of it is just positive and negative. I noticed a lot of websites are using that thumbs up, thumbs down versus the traditional, 5-star, 3-star type. Do you have both metrics in terms of measuring it by numbers and stars versus, or is it more just a thumbs up, thumbs down, negative, positive thing?
We could do thumbs up, thumbs down, stars. That's as much a style thing as anything else.
So the data will have all of that. It's just a matter of showing it.
Yeah, and in fact, if you look closely at and this is not specific to the sentiment analysis, but if you look at some solutions that have thumbs up, thumbs down, they may not have an ability to go beyond anything other than calculating, is the majority of sentiment positive or negative, and so to go a level deeper in terms of percentages, and then to be able to parse out those percentages in terms of business units, and be able to see specifically at a document level, what words are popping out as negative, what words are popping out as positive. All of that's inherent in the solution, and that's very, very important.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot, John, for sharing.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Si.